In the top stories, a new report paints a bleak picture of Barbadians' health. Local teachers unlikely to be paid for marking CXC SBAs, and 2 men join police wanted list. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, August 14th, 2015. I'm Natasha Beckles. Government has signaled its intention to ramp up the fight against non-communicable diseases in light of the results of a recent study. The Health of the Nation survey carried out by the Chronic Disease Research Center found that almost 1 in every 5 adults over the age of 25 has diabetes. The study also revealed that 1 in 4 men binge drink alcohol, while 3 out of every 4 women and 2 out of every 3 men are overweight or obese. The findings also point out that at least 2 out of every 3 women and 1 in 3 men are physically inactive. Minister of Health John Boyce expressed concern about the statistics.
The results presented today, however, indicate a worsening situation with respect to the risk factors associated with NCDs and require a concerted effort on the part of the government, on the part of civil society, on the part of the private sector, and on the part of us as individuals. I remain particularly concerned about the level of obesity, the level of physical inactivity, high alcohol intake, and low consumption of vegetables. And we will have seen demonstrated the facts in relation to these very important factors.
It does not appear like local teachers will be getting paid for marking CXC school-based assessments, despite fervent protests earlier this year. Speaking following the official release of CXC results on Friday, neither Education Minister Ronald Jones nor CXC Registrar Glenroy Cumberbatch offered any definitive word. Mr. Cumberbatch says CXC did not deal with payment and the teachers should take up the matter with their employers. Meanwhile, Mr. Jones said despite a decision by some teachers not to mark the papers, all of them were submitted on time. He said he was more concerned with moving forward in the best interest of students. A 22-year-old man has been remanded to prison on gun, ammunition, and drug charges after appearing in the District A Magistrates Court on Friday. Suleiman Ayub Ikalvaya of George Street, Belleville, St. Michael was not required to plead to having a firearm without a valid license and 9 rounds of ammunition without a permit. He is also charged with possession of cannabis, possession with intent to supply, and trafficking. According to police, officers on mobile patrol confronted the student on Saturday while he was standing next to a parked car and he fled. A search of the vehicle reportedly resulted in the discovery of a loaded gun and 588 grams of cannabis. Mr. Ikalvaya will return to court on September 11th. Police are reminding the public that it is an offense to harbor individuals who are wanted by police. The caution comes as the force asks for assistance in locating 2 men who are wanted in connection with separate serious criminal matters. They are 26-year-old Kimar Whitfield Ronaldo Leacock, alias Big Eyes, and 24-year-old Jabari Kenrico Gamble, alias 10 Speed or Tenor. Mr. Leacock's last known address is 7th Avenue, New Orleans, St. Michael, while Mr. Gamble last resided at St. Paul's Avenue, Bayville, St. Michael. The 2 men are advised they can present themselves to police accompanied by an attorney. Celebrations are no doubt continuing in a number of households following the announcement of this year's scholarship and exhibition winners on Thursday evening. Queen's College copped 15 of the 27 scholarships and 14 of the 25 exhibitions, while Harrison College was awarded 11 scholarships and 8 exhibitions. The Barbados Community College obtained 1 scholarship and 3 exhibitions. Scholarship winner Cherise Griffith said her success was due to hard work and time management.
I have like some night courses and then I'll have a course in the morning, right early. I'll finish at 9 o'clock. So I'll have that course at 9 o'clock. And then I always have like a lot of group projects, which I was the leader of every single one. So I just managed it somehow.
Sexual health and sexual diversity will be up for a discussion on Saturday when the sex shop comes off at the Spirit Bond Mall. The interactive workshop is open to anyone who has reached the age of consent, regardless of age, ability, or sexual preference. The organizers include the Barbados Family Planning Association, the Barbados Council for the Disabled, and Barbados Gays and Lesbians Against Discrimination. BGLAD's Rowan Mohammed said participants will be free to express themselves. 13 needy families will benefit from the Each One Reach One initiative, a joint venture between Bicor Limited and the Kiwanis Club of Bridgetown. Kiwanis President Malcolm Smith said the families will receive food hampers and gift certificates for the purchase of school uniforms.
We have identified, in collaboration with the Welfare Department of Barbados, 13 needy families, each family comprised of no less than 6 persons, and each family also having young children in them, because as I indicated, that's our number one priority, young children. And we are very pleased to be at this stage, that in another matter of days we'll be distributing these hampers to those needy families, which come from a cross-section of the Barbadian landscape, not only in St. Michael but St. John, St. George and St. John.
The Each One Reach One initiative encouraged students to donate toys and foodstuff in exchange for a scoop of ice cream. The island's oldest person, Millicent Yearwood, has been celebrating her longevity. The Fitzvillage St. James woman, who turned 108 last month, received a visit earlier this week from members of the National Committee on Aging. A cheerful Miss Yearwood greeted the well-wishers with open arms. We go from the very old to the very young. Campers of Unique Helping Hands Summer Camp got some insight into politics on Thursday when they were given a tour of the Barbados Labour Party's office at Parliament. The 22 young people also toured the Museum of Parliament before settling in for a brief chat with members of Parliament Cynthia Ford and Santia Bradshaw. Ms. Ford said it was critical that young people learn how Parliament operates.
So I'm happy that they could come and see that Parliament is not somewhere where people grumble at each other every week, or there's anything that shows that there's a dislike of one person from a political party to another, but Parliament is a place where we do put pieces of legislation in place for the social and political development of the country. And I mean, generally that is it. And for them to come into Parliament Yard, I think it's a wonderful experience for young children, because the first time I ever came into Parliament Yard, I was a full-grown woman. I came on evenings after my work to be able to listen to the debates in the lower chamber.
In sport, West Indies Test captain Dinesh Ramdin has told his side not to underrate their next opponents, Sri Lanka, even if they are a team in transition. The West Indies' next tour will be in October against Sri Lanka, where they will play 2 tests, 3 one-day internationals and 2 T20 matches. Ramdin says while the Sri Lankans are rebuilding by drafting a number of young players into the squad, they still should not be taken for granted. And finally, a New Jersey brewery is releasing a limited edition beer to commemorate Pope Francis' visit to Philadelphia next month. Cape May Brewing Company co-owner Ryan Krill says his company is brewing 500 gallons of Yopo, or You Only Pope Wants. The beer is a hoppy pale ale with 5.5% alcohol content, and it will only be available in draft. A sales rep says it pairs well with a nice cut of Argentinian beef, calling to mind the Pope's home country. And that's where we end Nation News for Friday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your papers over the weekend or subscribe to our e-paper. Thank you so much for joining us.